UK Games Expo 2019.
There's a queue in. It's going to open in like 5 minutes.
Let's do this.
Do it. And that's all we filmed on the day.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, we didn't film anymore. We're back now. It's now a month later. So a very belated UKG update from us. We saw...
We conquered.
I would like to do like a Keyforge tournament next year, but you have to be there at like 8 o'clock, and I didn't want to do that. And you have to be there all weekend, and we can't afford that.
So no, you're not.
So no, but I would like to. So we're just going to run through the games that we played and saw, that we were interested in, and the ones that we actually brought back with us. We had a surprising budget.
Yeah,
we worked hard to scrape together a good budget.
We did, so we were very
pleased.
fortunate.
Took our time as well. On a personal note, I was very pleased to meet Paul Grogan from Gaming Rules Vids. He was really nice. I had a horrible mint.
Horrible.
What was the smell? Because you didn't dare have one.
It was like TCP.
Gross. But weirdly not disgusting to eat. Like kind of disgusting, but not disgusting.
Dieter was just talking.
To be fair, that's your usual reaction
Just
to me
stop
talking. So I was really pleased to meet him. Nice little chat.
Yeah.
He was at the CGE booth, as he often is. So that was cool. What did we see? What did we try?
Sumo Gnomes.
Yeah, you really want this.
I want this game. So there's a game called Sumo Gnomes that they just had not even a prototype.
It was beyond a prototype. The stump one.
Okay, so the designer was there, and it's basically you have two...
We'll put his name on screen because I don't remember.
I can't remember his name.
No, but we'll put it on screen.
Two sumo characters.
Gnomes.
Two sumo gnomes.
From the name.
And you roll a dice to see how they can move, and they're like having a sumo tournament on this piece of wood. And
it was a genuine slice of log.
It was cool. And they're like slamming each other, and you can grab them and
swing them out. But like 1 minute game.
Yeah, it wasn't long, with the dice kind of moving forward, backwards. I just really enjoyed it, and I like the way that the one that everybody was playing on just looked so cool. Which he hasn't yet. He wasn't. I don't think he was planning on producing it like that.
But everyone that was there
everyone
you've
commented
got to do this version.
That it was really cool. So I think he's looking into doing that.
Did he say they were going to do Kickstarter later in the year?
I don't know, but
if one appears, I'll put it on our Twitter and Instagram.
I'm going to keep an eye out for that one because that would be really cool to have that.
We'll share it. It was nice, and he was lovely.
He was really nice, yeah. So that was Sumo Gnomes, and keep an eye out for it if it does pop up. It's quite a fun little game.
We tried Holmes.
We did.
Sherlock versus Mycroft, or whatever it's called. It's okay. It was
okay.
It was set collection thing. We just wanted something to do. A 2-player only game. Oh no, I'd seen it a couple of years ago in a video from somewhere.
Okay.
And yeah, it was worth trying. It was fine.
Okay, and the other
Mesozoic NAF. I wanted to like it. The sliding the cards around. French lady taught us. Yeah, that's how good it was. It wasn't what I hoped it would be. What were you trying to think of?
I think it was probably that one.
So a game that we tried and then immediately bought.
Are you ready?
At Kirsty's pure excitement.
Dimension. Dimension.
Thank you.
This is just so cool. I really like this game. And part of it is because the quality of this game is lovely. Just look at these are the components. The big wooden balls.
Are they wood? I don't know what they're made of.
No, they're probably plastic actually.
But they're like solid. They're not like ping pong ball plastic.
No. They're solid and they're good quality. And it is within the time limit. You have to stack balls of different colours. But there are rules in the middle, and the rules change for every game. And so maybe you can't put a white ball on top of anything else, or maybe a blue ball can't touch an orange ball, or just lots of rules like that. And you have to try and meet as many of the rules as you can within the time. So you've all got your own little pyramid of balls. And I just really enjoyed it. It's very different from a lot of the games we've played so far.
Yeah, we don't have any dexterity moves.
And I quite like dexterity. So yeah, absolutely recommend this because I really like it now.
It's one of those weird kind of games where I imagine it would be infinitely scalable. If it wasn't like, because the components they're so big and so chunky and like it says it's 2 to 4 player because that's how many components come in the box.
1 to 4 player.
1 to 4 player. Sorry, yeah, you're right. You can do it on your own. Is limited by the components in the box. But if you had 2 or 3 copies, because everyone's just focused on their own thing, you could play 12 player.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And it was more expensive than I'd like. Like if you watch our Onitama video, or I've done a What I Like for Dimension as well, it's a little bit more expensive than I would like, but cheaper at UKGE, which was why it was okay to buy it. It's hard. If you can find it online, but it's pushing it because those balls are so good.
Yeah.
Like a good size, probably the size of a table tennis ball, just chunky and solid and really fun to play with.
So yeah, you are paying for the quality as well. So yeah, that's Dimension. That's what we played and bought at UKGE.
So there's a couple of things we went to look at. Oh, do you want mine?
Yes, please.
Speaking of dexterity games, we were looking for Men at Work from Pretzel Games, but I don't think it's out yet.
We didn't even get to play it, did we?
No, it was being demoed on one table, like one copy of it, and it was just never free because it looks really cool. If we ever get that, we'll try that as well. We didn't try any of these. What else did we do? That's probably it for what we were going around. Because mostly we had a list of things that we were looking for. Now, one of those wasn't on the list, but Kirsty saw, and I was really pleased to find, is paperback.
Yes.
Paperback. It's on both sides.
Oh, right, okay.
We're talking about paperback. UKGE found this. It's been on my list for a while. It seemed to be hard to get hold of, but we were walking around a booth, and Kirsty just went, "Is that paperback? You were talking about that?" Because you looked at it a bit as well, hadn't you? So this is a really cool one. It's a combination of a word game, which some people like Scrabble, just spelling words using letters, but with a deck builder, and we like deck building games, Star Realms, Dominion, those types of things, where you start off with a really basic version with a small deck. I think it's 10 cards in most, I think same in this. And as the game goes on, you use those in this game to spell words. And depending on how the value of each letter is your spending power to buy new letters from the choice, the market in front of you. And there are double letters like TH and EY and things that are harder and cost a little bit more but give you way more spending power later, or they're like really obvious letters, like the basic vowels, which are just single use. Once you've used them in a word, they're gone. You have to burn them from the game. But then at the same time you can buy the books, the covers, the novels, which are only points, and then you can use them as random letters, any letter you like, but they don't score you any points to give you spending power. Yeah. So there's this balance. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, what I like about this is that it's not, although it is words, my vocabulary is not brilliant, but you can use quite simple words.
You just spell the same 3 words over and over again.
Yeah, so you can even just words like that, back, this, that sort of, just small words that you use a lot. If you can see them and make them, they could earn you a lot of points.
And because you've got those ones that can be used as any letter, you can just somebody spelt a word and you go, oh yeah, I'll make that word then.
Yeah.
If you haven't thought of something, you can probably do what somebody else has done.
Yeah.
And it's not, I've only done a 4-letter word, it won't score as well, because a lot of the cards that you buy have additional powers on. If it's the first letter that you used, get 2 extra spending power, whatever it is. So you can manipulate it as a game and think about it in powers and only have a small vocabulary. That doesn't matter. And so for me, why I was keen for it, and I think it has proven to be what I wanted it to be, is that balance between, you're not a gamer, but you know Scrabble, and you have a good vocabulary. Cool, you can play this game.
Yeah.
And we had that. Your mum really got into that kind of side of it.
What I would say though is, if you've got someone with dyslexia, it may be hard for them because...
As word games might be.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's the added aspect of you play a lot with blank cards that you've got to hold letters in your head.
Oh, the ones that can be anything.
So for example, my dad won't mind telling you this, but he's dyslexic and he likes Scrabble because he can see the letters, move them around, make it work. But he found this really difficult because there's so many blank cards that he couldn't hold the letters in his head and move them around.
Yeah, my brothers might have the same issue.
Yeah, so I think just if you're dyslexic, your partner's dyslexic or something, be a bit cautious with this game. Maybe try it before you buy it. But that's probably the only. But
then gamers equally. Sorry, just to come back from your interjection. Who may not care about word games, I think will still like it. I taught it to the group that I go to, a couple of them anyway, and they got it. They played deck builders before, so we're tuned into it. And again, we didn't have fancy words.
Yeah.
I think one of the guys just literally had about 3 or 4 words that he used every time, and still won. I think he did in the end. So good, and it was relatively cheap.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Too bad.
I think there's an expansion, and hardback is another version which can go into it. I don't know, we'll have to check that out. But paperback or hardback deck building word game, good. Check it out.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a class. Oh, do you mind?
No, carry on.
A classic for us.
Oh yes, I've forgotten.
This is Sushi Go Party. Nice tin box. Dieter doesn't like tin boxes.
I don't. It's a month old and it's already chipped.
Yes. This we've played numerous times, Sushi Go, but we only just got this. Did we get it at? Yeah, we did. Got it at
found
UK
it
Games
super
Expo.
cheap. Super excited.
Yeah. So we got we weren't sure whether we were going to get Sushi Go or Sushi Go Party, but we thought Party adds the extra variation to the game, so we thought we'd go for that. It's still just a brilliant game. If you've not played. Play it. If you play games with your family and you've got kids,
it's excellent.
Play Sushi Go Party. It really introduces kind of drafting stuff to them.
We were taught Sushi Go. We kind of already knew it, but we were taught Sushi Go by an 8-year-old. And
she loved it, and it is. It's good. It's got a fun little theme.
Yeah.
And we taught it to a group of friends recently, and they really caught on. Some of them weren't gamers at all, but they caught on and enjoyed it because it is just a fun, as it says here, a pick and pass card game. Very simple. And you can't really be bad at it, which is a lovely thing.
It's positive scoring, which I always enjoy.
Yeah. So even if you haven't a clue what you're doing, you're probably still going to get some good scores.
And there are a couple of negatives, like if you don't have enough or the person who has the least gets minus, whatever. But because it's the party version, yes, there are preset menus, they call them, preset sets of cards that you use. If there's cards you don't like, don't use them. Swap them out. It gives you the flexibility with party to find combinations that work for you and that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So that, definitely worth it.
And if you see, Sushi Go without the party is a much smaller game, always much cheaper. We're not we were considering getting that as well. That's just as good a game, but as we've said, it just doesn't add the extra variations as you play.
But much easier to travel with, so that might be a consideration if you're taking it to other places. Sushi Go is about this big.
Yeah. And if you've got children, actually, you might not want to change the rules every time you play, because they're gonna want to remember how to play each time. So Sushi Go would be perfect. But yeah, Sushi Go Party, thoroughly recommend. We like this game.
We do like. Another family game. Kind of. It looks like it should be. And I think it is. I mean, there's a little frog talking to a little bird down here. This is Tiny Towns. AEG Peter McPherson? Yes.
Yes, well done.
Nice. As far as I know, first or second big design from him.
Okay.
So an early thing. This is taking kind of the concept of some mobile games, like, it's not Candy Crush. Oh, is it Candy Crush? Like when you match 3 things and then they disappear.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It takes some of that concept and puts it into a board game. And so there are different colour cubes, and you take it in turns. One person will take a cube, so say I took a red cube. Everyone at the table then has to take a red cube and place it on their board. And so then there's a series of buildings in the middle that each require a different pattern, a different combination of things to shrink and become that building. And then you can take one of the building pieces and put it in, and then you can't put cubes in there. And so your playing area gets smaller and smaller, which is one thing which looks like a family weight simple abstract pattern game. But mixed into that, then each type of building scores in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And so then you're having the added thing of going, not only am I having to follow what some people are saying, being in control sometimes, but how do I mitigate those things to create the buildings that I want? Not just the patterns to do anything, but to get the specific thing I want, which matches up with my thing, because there's one building that only you have. And so you might be going for yours. You can't just copy what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Because everyone will be going for a slightly different thing. And so what looks like a really simple, light family game, suddenly we found turns into quite a clever puzzle, like something to get your head around. It took both of us probably until at least our second play, well, you've only played it twice, to kind of go, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. Because you get to the end of the first play and you go, I really messed this up. I did not do well. Because you could just get to an impossible situation where you cannot do anything else, and so you're out. You're just sat there waiting for everyone else to finish, which is, no one likes that.
Yeah.
But then you're sitting there going, oh, if I'd done this, if I'd done this, if I'd done this. So that's a clever design in and of itself. But then each type of building, apart from one, there's 3 or 4 possible building cards that it could, the scoring type that it could be. You shuffle a deck of cards, as I say, 4 or 5 is not really a deck. You shuffle a few cards of that type, so the orange buildings.
Okay.
You shuffle those and you do one, and that's the way that building is going to score this time. Another game, it could score in a completely different way. And so not only have you got the puzzle that you can get used to and can get better at, you've then got to factor in, but I don't want to play the way I would play before, because actually what I'm trying to achieve is slightly different. So this is a deceptive game. I like it. I'm interested to see how long it will stay in our collection, because I'm interested to see how often we'll play it. I have done the solo. It was fine. I have other things I would rather solo. At 2 it was interesting, but we haven't really explored larger player counts where I think you'd have even less control, whether that would be more exciting because you're having to react, or less interesting because you feel like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
A lot of bits, it was on my list to definitely check out. It wasn't really out anywhere, so we bought it instead. And then finally, because we had to, this we didn't get at UKG, but this is just the box to represent. This came just after UKG. I bought a couple of decks of the new set of Keyforge.
Yes.
Finally came out, Age of Ascension. Same houses, but adds new cards in. We played over lunch, didn't we? Because I was that excited.
Today?
No, at UKG.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Cracked open with a couple of decks.
Yeah.
Some fun names. Have you noticed any difference?
No, apart from the new ones don't seem to be as good, do they?
Well, we've played since matching them up to some of the old ones, and they haven't done as well. But then I've got loads of old ones which don't match up with my top ones.
Okay, yeah.
We've only got a couple of this set, and so it's hard to say. Well, these two and then a couple others.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 of the new set. I don't think they're as fast.
Okay.
My good ones from the old set just have so much Ember production.
Yeah.
Like that Untamed deck where you play this and that gives you one for this, and then you add another creature and it scores like it does that kind of thing where I haven't seen that in this new set. But there's a lot more interaction.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
So the new Sanctum cards that capture more readily or give everybody shields instead of just the person next to you, or there's now the what are they called, emissary or ambassador, what's it called, I don't remember what it's called, but there's one card in the Sanctum house that allows you to use a card from a different house. So there's the Mars ambassador or whatever the word is, which allows you to use a Mars card. And so they've interacted within the set much more, and so I'm interested to find a good fast one that still uses some of this new stuff.
There's one card that I played that we found where it meant you can't, if you discard a creature, it's out the game for good. And so
either play it.
I played that quite early on in a game, and it just was a change gamer.
It was a change gamer.
A game changer. Because if you can't recycle creatures in your discard pile, what can you do?
What can you do? Very little. But yeah, so we had to get more, and we'll still get more. Would you go again to UKG? How was your overall experience? We stayed longer this time than we did last time.
We did. I mean, I would go again for you. But to me, it's a bit of a glorified shopping trip. And you pay to go.
But I'm okay with that.
You pay to go shopping.
But still, we didn't demo as much as most people do.
Okay.
Partly because we're a little nervous. Because usually then somebody talks to you.
Yeah.
And teaches you the game. We're like, no, we're fine. We'll just figure it out ourselves.
Talk to us.
Are you okay? Yeah, we're okay. Well, let me show you how this works. So we still haven't really taken full advantage of that.
Yeah.
There are tournaments. There's all the other kind of stuff that we just.
And there are talks and things.
Afternoons and evenings, but I think those costs as well, like an extra amount. But the entry ticket is about a London cinema, so it's not a ridiculous fee, because you're saying you're paying to go shop. Yeah. Like to pay to go to UKG,
it's an expensive cinema.
A London cinema, that's about the price.
£20.
It was 13.
Oh yeah, it's 20 because there's 2 of us. Yeah, 13.
This woman did a maths degree. 13 times 2 is not 20.
26.
Where'd you get 20 from? It doesn't matter. This is unhelpful, and I love my wife. So we may go again. We'll see how life. It's worked out because we've been on half terms. I'm not going to get half terms again, so we'll see how that works out.
So can I just mention another game?
Please do.
We didn't play it at UKGE, but we bought it for other people at UKGE.
Oh, yes.
And it is Ticket to Ride London.
Yes.
Which had just come out. So we bought it for Dieter's brothers, both of them, and
He said a message from one saying, "Can you pick me up a copy?" I found it and for a decent price, and then very quickly had a message from the other brother saying, "Oh, can you grab me one as well if it's that cheap?"
So then we went to.
So we were actually paying to go shop for other people.
Yeah. And we played it after UKGE.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for you, but I wasn't that impressed. Because there is a score. The scoring is very different from if you've played Ticket to Ride New York. They've got you score from No, I can't remember. But it's very different scoring, and I wasn't impressed because it was hard, really hard.
I don't know that I'd go so far as to say I wasn't impressed. I think I much prefer New York.
Okay.
Because it simplifies the Ticket to Ride experience into this 15-minute game, and the monument mechanism is really good.
Yeah.
If you touch that, you get extra points.
Yeah.
Whereas London, because of how London works in real life, they haven't followed the zoning of the London tube map.
No.
But they have zoned London. And so depending on whether you get one connection, which is a whole zone, zone 1, is a really easy connection to get, you get the 1 extra point for completing zone 1. And so as the points go up, as the zones get harder. So there are 5 zones, I think. And so yeah, you need to have done like 6 different connections to score. You have to touch all of the points of zone 5 to score the 5 points, which doesn't feel worth it.
No.
Where in New York, it's just you connect to this thing, so you get those points.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I still think it's a good game, and I think some people might prefer it. I think New York is better. Some people might prefer it. That there is a London one is cool. As soon as New York was announced, we were saying they should do London. I think the pieces are slightly better in London, and it's still about £14-15.
Yeah.
So good. I prefer New York. You prefer New York.
I prefer New York.
But yeah, it was out, it was good, and enjoy.
Yeah. That's it then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry it was late.
That's alright. Oh. Not apologising to bring out.
Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Hit the bell icon so you stay notified of videos. Follow us on social media, Win Some Loosemore, or at WSomeElmore on various things. Twitter is still there. Instagram's probably the one at the moment. Facebook is kind of cloned of our Twitter, because I do a couple of extra things, a couple of videos every now and then. But the usual platforms, we're there.
Yeah. So that's all from us for now. And we will see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.